We are on the main stage here. Luke Bryan decided to show up, sing a little country for us. So I guess I'm a little country, he's a little rock and roll. Andrew Filipponi, we're in the Bowser Nissan Theater here at CBS Radio World Headquarters in Greentree. He's getting ready to go coast to coast and worldwide at 6, a man with a lot of talent. So what are you doing today, young gun?
We're talking about some of these college football bowl games.
Well, tell him what
we're talking about.
National radio today.
Yeah, radio.com app, cbssportsradio.com.
Big time.
6 to 10.
I'm so proud of you.
Are you?
I'm
proud of you.
My man from
For the courage to wear a great purple shirt like that. That is a. Was that a Christmas gift?
No.
No?
No.
Looks nice on you.
How
about the jeans? Anything you're wearing for a holiday present?
All bought and paid for by me.
Okay.
Santa missed my house this year.
You're naughty.
No. Well, we know that. He actually was wanting to get to you because he wanted to hear your radio show.
Is that right?
At 6. Yes, sir. All right, listen. Let's talk Sun Bowl underway right now. Stanford, North Carolina, 13-7. And you got the Music City Bowl underway right now. It's scoreless between Nebraska and Tennessee. What has happened to Nebraska? One of my favorite teams from the heartland. Where's Johnny Rodgers when you need him? It's been a long time for the Cornhuskers.
The coach retired. I think that's what it is. I think there are certain programs that are inherently good because of their location. The players are around them. You know, just like real estate, location, location, location. And then there are coaches that build programs and get players because of their status or stature. And I think Tom Osborne was one of those coaches. And since he left, you know, Nebraska doesn't have to be good. It's not like they're, you know, making great football players in Omaha or Lincoln or, you know, they're kind of in the breadbasket of America.
But that's college football to me. Nebraska being good is great for college football.
Were they good before Tom Osborne got there? Were they?
No.
Right. So, you know, it's the same question I'll have about, you know, Duke when Mike Krzyzewski retires, or.
Well, that's a good point.
You know, I mean, they're my alma mater. What's going to happen to Syracuse basketball when Jim Boeheim leaves? I mean,
don't let that happen anytime.
These are places where, you know, I don't think that geographically, based on where they are, they have to be, you know, flagship, great powers, titans in the sport every year. So that's what I think happened in Nebraska.
I was just going to ask you, do you see any young coaches out there? Because you mentioned some of my favorites, obviously Boeheim being one, Osborne another, went on to have a great political career as well as a congressman. But there is Jim Harbaugh. There is a young coach, Michigan, who's got that kind of passion. And they, of course, are in the Orange Bowl tonight, which was historic. As a kid growing up, you had to watch the Orange Bowl. What about him and his future? Do you think he would ever come back to the NFL,
Yes.
say for the LA Rams job? Maybe?
No, I don't think he'd come back after this season. I think because he went to school there out of loyalty, his father coached
Right.
there. I can't see him picking up and leaving after 2 years. He wants to, I believe, not only reestablish Michigan as one of the great college football programs, but I also think he has a desire to win championships. And, you know, he got Stanford to a point, built that program up, went to the 49ers, and played in 3 NFC championship games, got to a Super Bowl, but wasn't able to finish the deal. And I feel like those near misses in the NFL will eventually drive him back to professional football. But I think he's going to do what he can at first at Michigan to try to make them a national. Now, they've not won the national championship since 1948, outright. They've split national championships, but it's been forever. And there's no financial incentive.
Is
for
this
him.
all under this hat, this information?
There's no financial
Jeez.
there's no financial incentive for him to leave,
Right.
because he's the highest paid coach in pro or college football. He's a $9 million a year coach.
Mike Greenberg, the great talent of ESPN, went to Northwestern, so he's probably doing cartwheels if they beat Pitt.
So did Brent Musburger,
Did he?
Mike Wilbon, Ron Cook. I mean, they're just they.
Well,
there's
now
a
that
Mount,
now
there's
that
a
I know
Mount-
Cook went
there's
there.
a Mount Rushmore of Northwestern for you, huh?
That's some strong talent.
It is, yeah.
What about the Pitt program? Greg Diola said to me, he said, look, it was a good game. I wanted to win that game. I mean, it was like they were satisfied that it was a good game. I don't think you want to end your season on that note.
No, I think the if you look at Pitt's season, they scored 2 massive wins. The Penn State victory gave them so much goodwill within this community because of the importance of that rivalry.
Right.
And then you beat Clemson. That gets you national recognition. So twice this year, Pitt did something that I think got them accolades. Moving forward, though,
You can't settle for that.
well, not only you want to win 9 games. Not many Pitt teams have done that, but you know, I'm trying to think tangibly what they have from 2016 that they can take into 2017. They lost their offensive coordinator. James Connors left the program. They're going to have to replace a quarterback. They didn't get Lamont Wade. I mean, the best high school recruit in the area. And that was one of the reasons why people said the Penn State game was so important. You win that game, how is it going to affect recruiting? Well, they still didn't get the best player.
What's that tell you?
Well, that tells you that Penn State, even with the scandal and everything that's happened there, is still the dominant football team.
They did get Paris Ford, though, so that's something.
Well, and there were some rumors that he was going to flip and go to Penn State, but it now sounds like he is going to stay.
And I'll
with
tell
his
you,
initial commitment.
Talking to my buddy Normie Lee, happy birthday, great guy behind the Brewster's brand, my man Bruce Reed, but of course him and Mario Leone. Just a shout out to them back in Monaco. They own the Hopewell Brewsters. We were talking last night. Robert Foster, a couple of years ago,
Went to Alabama.
He may matriculate somehow. We're all hoping for one more year at Pitt. That would be a good thing. Something to think about. Wish list.
Well, I think what that tells you is, now Joe Namath would be an exception here, but there are not many guys who came out of the WPIAL and went on to play in the SEC or the Big 12.
You're right.
Or the Pac. Most of the guys that have done well have either been Big 10 players or guys that stayed local.
Listen, hoops, real quick. West Virginia playing Oklahoma State right now. Pitt's going to host Notre Dame tomorrow. Robert Morris off the win against Sacred Heart. Fairleigh Dickinson, that coming up tomorrow. Duquesne takes on Fordham tonight at 7. But here's another question in the way of basketball. Just talking to Joe DeStio. Susie McConnell-Ciro, I'm her #1 fan. They get beat by the Lady Dukes at Duquesne. Mm-hmm. Where's their program at right
Pitt?
now? The women. I wanted to succeed. Where are they in your mind right now? You're the only guy I could probably ask this question to who would have enough information.
You know what? I think you look at the ACC, you've got Syracuse, who lost the national championship game last year.
Right.
You've got Duke, which has established itself as a power. You've got Louisville, which has established itself as a power. So you're trying to compete for, real estate in the upper echelon of the league. And I think what you have is a coach that has cachet. I mean, Susie McConnell-Ciro is a gold medal winner. She's an Olympian. She coached in the WNBA. That's a major selling point, sure. But I think she still has to figure out the difference between recruiting in the Atlantic 10 and the ACC. There are a lot of really strong high school girls basketball players in this area, but I don't know how many of them are ACC caliber players. So I think once she gets a better handle on her recruiting base, what kind of players she needs, I expect that they'll become a team that consistently goes to the NCAA tournament, but they're not there yet.
All right, Andrew Filipponi, 93.7 The Fan. He and Ron Cook every day, 10 o'clock in the morning. Don't miss until 2. And, of course, go on national CBS Radio tonight at 6. Radio.com is where you can find him if you want to listen to him going coast to coast. Great opinion, a lot of smarts. A couple of things, and you're out of here.
Yep.
Three Rivers Classic. Congratulations to Robert Morris, Derek Schooley, 5th annual. They are PPG Paints Arena. They're going to play Quinnipiac for the title of that very prestige tournament. I like how that thing has really made everybody aware about Division I hockey and its presence right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, and I think, what we've seen with the Penguins and their success is that we don't just watch hockey in Pittsburgh, we produce hockey players now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Brandon Saad with the Blue Jackets, or whether it's J.T. Miller with the New York Rangers, or whether it's Vincent Trocheck with the Florida Panthers. I think Ryan Malone was really the first Pittsburgher to put his name on the Stanley Cup, but his dad grew up in the sport. He was here because he worked for the Penguins. It wasn't like a kid that
out of the clear book with the skates on.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I think now we've seen the Lemieux effect in 30 years has not only produced great players at the grassroots level here, but now there's even a desire or an appetite for college hockey. And I think Robert Morris has that niche in this town. They've carved out some real estate here as a program that is the dominant college hockey program in the area. And I think Penn State getting the college hockey team Division I has helped boost the status of college hockey in Pittsburgh too.
Last thing, Steelers-Browns. None of the Steelers' first choice as a #1 team going to be playing, but I understand that. Rest them a little bit. But let's just move forward. Great day at Heinz Field, though. Wonderful day down on the North Shore, so get down and enjoy yourself. Don't have a ticket, just enjoy one of the great eateries. Jerome Bettis is a great place, Grill 36, just to name one. But I want to ask you about Wild Card Weekend here. What do you think the scenario will be?
I think it'll be a Sunday afternoon game between the Steelers and Dolphins is what I think it'll be. And
how good is Jay Ajayi?
Well, I think he's as good as his offensive line, really. I mean, he's got, when they're healthy, you've got Tunsil and Pouncey's out, so that was a big loss. Marquise's twin. But, Albert, another guy that they brought in from Kansas City, signed a huge free agent contract too. Just like the Steelers, they invested in their guys up front. And I think what we saw against Buffalo is that, you knock on the door enough times, eventually that thing's going to come down. And, that's where that 68-yard run comes in overtime that they win the game on. So he ate up the Steelers in that game down in Miami, but the difference there was they were still trying to figure out how to play without Cam Hayward. That was a different Steelers defense back then. I think they'll be, with the game here instead of on the road, they'll be in a better position to contain him in this matchup. So if you think about it, Rob, he had 3 200-yard games this year.
I know.
Emmitt Smith had one his entire career, and he's the leading rusher in the history of the game. So
chances are better without Tannehill, though.
I'm not sure about that.
Really?
I'm really not, because Moore has come in here in the last 2 weeks and has won both games. I don't look at Tannehill as a true franchise quarterback, and I think they've got one of the better backups in the league. So what I'm saying is, if they beat the Patriots on Sunday with Matt Moore, I would expect him to get the start here the next week. You go 3-0 and get your team in the playoffs, I have a hard time pulling that guy for a wild card game for a guy that's got to bum me.
All right, what else are you talking about CBS Radio National today?
Well, just the, you've got running backs that made decisions to either play in their bowl game or not. And 2 first-round running backs.
One of them for Stanford.
One of them is not there, and the other guy, Delvin Cook, is going to play tonight for Florida State. So I'm really going to focus in on that. What people make of that decision. Why one guy thought it was in his best interest to play, and the other guy didn't.
He's definitely worth listening to, folks, whether it's national or here at CBS Radio Road Headquarters with Ron Cook every day, 10 until 2. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Rob. Happy New Year.
I'll take that, too.
All right.